Hey everybody, Mega 31 back here for FSIDFS. I'll be covering the truck race for Bristol on Thursday evening. I know with football and baseball and so many other things, college football going on, that probably not going to have a lot of time to watch long videos. So I'm just going to break this down solo and just trying to fly through some plays here and help you build your lineup. So up top, we have the drivers that are in the playoff. For some reason, I thought that they always started like the drivers in the playoffs as the top 10, but Grant Enfinger somehow got squeezed in there at the number 6 position. So pretty much this is the last race before they cut the playoffs down from 10 to 8. Sheldon Creed and John Hunter Nemechek look comfortably into the next round. Creed is definitely a lock because he's won the last 2 races. Matt Crafton and Stuart Friesen should have a big enough lead unless something goes horribly, strangely wrong with that. So the ones that are kind of on the bubble are Chandler Smith and Zane Smith. They are kind of below the line, and within striking distance of them are Gillian Hocevar, Austin Hill, and Ben Rhodes. So those are the guys to kind of keep an eye on here. So you have Sheldon Creed on the pole, and he, I think, is going to be very popular because this is going to be a dominator race. There's a lot of laps to be led here. You're going to look for dominated points because this is set up top heavy with the best drivers up front. You don't have many opportunities for place differential in this. You only have one really in Sam Mayer, who is the most expensive driver in the field because of it. There's no cup drivers in this event, so you don't have that factor here where you're trying to figure out like how they're going to do. So pretty much it's just regular truck drivers here. So Creed starting the pole, John Hunter Nemechek is starting second position. I think I really like John Hunter Nemechek here. He's one of my prime plays over Creed. Creed is fine. Creed could do well. Creed could dominate, but Creed has struggled at Bristol, and John Hunter Nemechek has been solid here. So that's where I'm looking. As you look at Gillian and Crafton, I think both of them GPPs. Gillian has a little bit more to play for here. Like I said, he needs to. He's right now within the next round of the playoffs, but he just has to be careful just to make sure. It's like Hocevar and Hill are the ones that are like right on the line, but he's only like 11 points up on the cut line there. So and Rhodes is 15. So it's pretty close, whereas Friesen and Crafton have like a 30-point advantage. So that's where I think, he has to run a good race here and make sure in order to advance. So I think they make interesting GPP plays. Stuart Friesen, I mean, he's had a really good truck through these playoffs. Good short track driver too. So at 82, if you want to throw him in the cash lineup, I think he can definitely finish in the top 10, maybe get up there and lead some laps, get some dominating points. He's priced pretty well compared to some of the other guys here. Enfinger, he's just an outlier here. He has a Thor truck, which is a good truck. I think he's going to be pretty low owned. So if you want to throw him in a GPP, but I don't think he belongs in a cash lineup. Chandler Smith, like I said, he is in the Kyle Busch truck. He is on the outside looking in. He needs to both the Smiths here, Chandler and Zane, I think will be popular potentially in cash builds because of just having to be able to try to do very well here to get above that cut line. So I think you could play them in cash. I don't think they're weird strategies. I think they're just going to just try to get up front, lead laps, and just consistently and finish really well. Austin Hill, he's always a GPP for me. He just hasn't had the season. I mean, he had those wins in a row, but they were just seemed to be like luck more than skill. And then Ben Rhodes, I think also is one that starting 11th, there is some place differential there. I like the price at 88. So just kind of recapping the top 11. Creed, I can definitely see in cash. Nemechek's going to be my favorite. Gillian and Crafton are more GPPs. I lean more Gillian just with the situation. Friesen is a good cash play just with a short track history. Enfinger is not in the playoffs. He's a GPP dart there. Chandler Smith and Zane Smith, I like them in cash because they're going to have to get up there. Chandler Smith definitely has a better price tag on him. Kosovar, GPP, Hill, GPP, but really not super interested in either one of them. I'll probably start my GPPs with Hill like I always do, just because there's a little place differential there. And Rhodes is a really good place for GPP. So starting at 12, Drew Dollar, young driver. He's in a Kyle Busch truck, the Kyle Busch truck, 7,400. He's a GPP. I think he's starting a little too far forward there. I don't think he's going to get by many of these championship drivers. Johnny Sauter, 8,400 GPP. I think he'll do decent, but he's had some mechanical issues. I mean, not really mechanical. I just like Johnny Sauter. He just seems like too old. He's like lost a step. I'm not too interested in him. I don't hate it at 84. I think, he has a ceiling of 5X, but he could get up and actually contend with some of the guys ahead of him better than Dollar could. Parker Klingerman, you have at 10-3. That's way too much. We played Parker Klingerman at 10-3 when Parker Klingerman's starting like in the 30s and has a chance for a lot of place differential and to get up and lead some laps. So he's pretty much a fade for me. I just don't think he can pay off that tag, even if he like wins the race, which I think is a far long shot. Derek Krauss, I think I'm fading here too. He just seems to wreck too much. Not interested at 78 starting there. Austin Wayne Self will probably be very popular at 5-7 to try to fit in some of these stud drivers. I could see him staying at top 16. It's a bit risky, so he's a GPP. Josh Berry is in this Rackley truck. It's had some issues here and there. 87, price a little steep. I think he's a GPP for me also. I think he can get right at 4X, which I'm looking for, but I don't think there's a ton of upside there. Like the driver, just don't like the situation in the starting point. Tyler Ankrum here. He could be popular. But again, I've seen him wreck way too many times this year. I'm not paying 9K. There's some place differential. He could get up into the top 10 there. So definitely keep an eye on him in the GPP. Chase Purdy, not interested. He's a fade, starting too far forward. Colby Howard, same thing, starting way too far forward. They would lucky if they scrape 3X. Tanner Gray, I think, is another prime play here. He's a good driver. 71 is not bad. I think he can definitely get into like the top 15. So there's some place differential there. And if he does finish 15th, that gets him 28 DK points just by finishing 15. And then if you add on like the 6 to 10 additional points that he could move up, he could be anywhere from like 32 to 36 DK points, which puts him in the close to the 5X range. So I really like that there. So I think I'm going to lock him into cash games. Denny Bond, not interested. He's a fade. I think he falls down into like 30s. Haley Deegan, she's done well this year. A very good rookie season. So I'm okay with her in cash. She's only 6,600. She's starting 23rd. She could probably get in up to the top 15. Same situation as Tanner Gray, just a little bit cheaper. Probably not as much upside, but I think, she's one that you can play in your cash games too if you're trying to get these studs in. Chris Wright's a fade. Lawless Allen, I think he's starting too far forward. He's in East truck, not interested there. Ryan Truex, I think, will be chalk. He's in the same situation as Gray and Deegan, not as good a driver, not as good a truck. So I can only see him going up maybe to 20th position, but still that could probably get him anywhere from 25, maybe 30 DK points, another 5X value potentially. So I think he's a great play there. Spencer Boyd, Rayum, Cram, not interested in. I think they're all going to fall down or start there. Rayum might finish dead last there, even start in park. So I'm not playing any of them. Doug Colby is in a really good truck here. I don't know too much about him other than, he's got potential. So I think he's an interesting play at 69. I'd rather play Tanner Gray for 200 more, but if you need some, or Deegan, but if you're looking for a third guy in this range, then he's definitely one to consider with some place differential upside. With this truck, he'd probably get in the top 20 and about that's 10 DK points moving him up there. Okay, rounding things out here, we have Tate Fulgerman, very cheap, but very risky GPP, but the price point's okay. He could get there to 4X. Timmy Hill, I think, will be very popular from here. He can move up. 73 is a little steep, so he's borderline cash. I think he gets right at the 4X, but he's a decent driver. Could definitely get into the top 20 here at Bristol. Taylor Gray, Tanner's brother, is very expensive at 81, but I think he has the potential in this truck, and he's pretty talented too to move up 10 positions and get maybe 30 some DK points. So he could get 4x, maybe 5x ceiling. So I think, he's one you can look at cash. Clay Greenfield, I think, is more risky here, but has a little bit of potential. And then I'm pretty much out on the rest of them besides Mayer. Like Roper, not interested. Jennifer Ochoa, Cobb's always too slow. CJ McLaughlin, he might start in park, not interested there. Ray Cicerelli is always very, very slow. There's a reason that 36 through 40 are starting where they are, except for Mayer, who just jumped into Brett Holmes' truck. So like I said, down here for cash, like I'd look at Colby, I'd look at Timmy Hill, Taylor Gray, maybe DeSalvo. GPP plays would be Fogelman and Greenfield. I'm pretty much fading the rest. So hopefully that helps you with a quick breakdown of the truck series. We'll see how much information comes out for Xfinity and Cup. Hopefully KDK and I will get together to at least the Cup one this week. So it's just a weird schedule having a Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night race with everything else going on. I'm covering baseball, he's covering PGA, we got college football, we got NFL, so much going on. So it's a great time of the year, and hopefully everybody's doing well. Leave some comments below. Hit me up at Twitter at MegaRuler31. See if we can help you out with any other questions that you might have. So tonight, focus your lineup. I would start with Nemechek or Creed.